Today, man, we're going to be going over the best coaching adjustments to use right now in college football 26. As of right now, I've played about almost 30 head-to-head games between Regs and Ultimate Team, mostly Ultimate Team. So I have a really good idea how this game plays. And I've messed around with a bunch of these coaching adjustments and stuff, so I kind of have an idea of what they do, what to not do with them, and all that stuff. So we're going to pretty much go over all of this for offense and for defense. So starting with the defensive side of the ball first, because it's, really where pretty much all the coaching adjustments we're going to talk about are at. We got auto flip defensive call. I leave this on. This is just to where, depending on whatever formation the offense is in, your defense is going to line up pretty much accordingly to that offensive formation. So it doesn't, sometimes if you have it on off, your defense might be kind of messed up. So I like to leave it on. You can leave it off though, but I typically don't. Cornerback matchup. This is something I also leave unbalanced. I don't like touching this because the defense can kind of get glitched out. You got overall speed, height, route running, depth chart, all that stuff. I just leave it on balance because first of all, if you put it on balance, however you have it in your depth chart is, pretty much the same. It's actually not my fault. I'm pretty sure if you do it by depth chart, it'll basically put your corner one on their wide receiver one and et cetera, et cetera. But like, let's say their wide receiver two is better than their, wide receiver one, then the whole thing would be out of whack. So just leave it on balance. Don't do it because sometimes when they motion and stuff like that, the defense just gets all messed up. Defense motion response. So this is the first one we actually might possibly need to change. I don't always change it. It depends. So let's say there's some type of built-in motion. Typically when you're running like let's say like a cover zero man blitz, if you leave this on default, sometimes what will happen if it's some type of auto motion play, your players might swap and now they're cross manned and now you're giving up a one play touchdown. If you know what I mean, it's probably happened to you before. If they are doing something like that, then you're going to want to disable this so your players do not swap and they just, stay where they need to be. But until something like that happens, I typically leave this on default. Option read key. This is when if the quarterback is in that situation where he's either going to hand it off or he's going to keep it himself. Every single game, I keep this on conservative. This is going to make it to where whoever you have at your D end, the very edge guy, if it's an outside back, whoever, he's going to make sure the quarterback does not keep it. Option pitch key. This is something I also put on conservative. So this is when, the quarterback's about to run some type of power option or speed option where he pitches it out to the running back. If you put it on conservative, the D ends or whoever's right there they're going to worry about the quarterback. So all you have to do is go play the running back. You don't got to worry about trying to tackle the quarterback. So just scrape all the way to the top and go get the running back. So this right here is one of the first brand new features we're going to look at, RPO read key. So basically, this is just the exact same as the option read key when the quarterback can keep it or hand it off, but it's an RPO. You know how they have some of those RPOs where the quarterback can just keep it? That is basically what this is. So you can just put this on conservative as well because those are basically almost the same as read options. RPO pass key is also another brand new feature. So basically how this works is if you put it on conservative, your guys in their zones, in a way, I don't want to say it works like a pass commit because it's not a pass commit, but what it'll do basically is whatever zones you have out there and all that stuff, they are going to play that. They're not going to worry about the run, which is why I say it's very similar to a pass commit. Now, if you put it on aggressive, it's going to do the complete opposite in stopping the run. This is something I personally leave on balance because how I like to stop RPOs is just man them up, and I've done that in this game, and the man coverage against RPOs are great. I mean, I've had some pick sixes, diving interceptions. They play it really good. So personally, I would leave it on balance, but if you are really struggling on the RPO, then I would say just put it on conservative. Strip ball, don't even touch it. You put it on conservative. These guys, first of all, you should probably never want to put it on conservative. And if you put it on aggressive, you're gonna probably get a lot of broken tackles. And I've played a ton of this game. There is a lot of broken tackles and a lot of stiff arm, and leave this on bounds. Same thing with tackling, man. Just leave it on bounds. Conservative, they won't even try to hit stick. Aggressive, they're gonna get nothing but hit sticks, and it's already hard enough to tackle. Just leave it all on bounds. Now we're gonna start talking about some zone drops. So I am a person that uses a lot of zone drops. And I will say also, I have not used the stemming the zone drops yet. I think it's a great addition. It's just the problem with it is that you don't have time. Like there's so much quick snap activity that there really isn't time to kind of get it off. I'm not gonna lie. So I've still been sticking with my good old reliable zone drop. And I will say, I gotta say, I think zones play pretty good for this game being this early on and guys have really low stats and they're all really slow. I think it plays really good. So I'm not gonna lie. When we start getting like really good players, I think it's going to be a very defensive game. We'll see, though. This is what I like to put on for my zone drops, though. So starting off with the flats, these are your light blues, your cloud flats. You typically see these in like a Tampa 2 or something like that. I like to start out the game by putting these on 20. That's kind of where I keep them at for the most part. Sometimes I might drop him down to 15 if someone's getting right underneath that cloud flat on an out route or corner route, and I really need him to bite down on it. And besides like the red zone, in the red zone, I'll usually drop these things to 5, and I'll probably put my hook curls on 5 as well, and I'll do something crazy. Even though honestly, the hook curls, I usually just leave these on 5 regardless. But for standard, we like to keep the cloud flats on 20. As for the curl flats, these are your purples. I like to have these on 5 as well. I never raise these past 5. The only thing I might do is put them on 0 if I really want them to just beeline to the flat, but besides that, I leave these on 5. And her curls, for the most part, also just kind of leave these on 5. Sometimes I might raise them, like let's say it's like a 3rd and 20, 4th and 20, then maybe I'll put them on like 20. But once again, for the most part, leave these on 5. Very occasionally, maybe 10. So getting at the very end of the coaching adjustments here for defense, it's basically just all the safety depth stuff, which I have messed around with this and I have used it. So I like to put them on close. This has them. They're not lined up right on where your linebackers are at. They're lined up just a little bit behind them. I can kind of show you what close looks like really quickly. So I'll come out of my 6'1". I'm a 6'1" guy. You can see that this is close. They're not lined up next to the backer. They're lined up just perfect right behind him. For me, that's personally where I like them. I run a cover 4 type of scheme, so it works for me. If you run like a Tampa 2 scheme, I don't know if you're going to want them there because let's say you run like Tampa 2, right? It's going to look a little something like this. You could do that. I just, your safeties are gonna be they're gonna have to be fast because they're gonna have to get back. So yeah, I typically like to put them on close. As for safety width, I haven't really found a need to change this. I've just left it on default. For me, the default, it's just fine. Safety midpoint, I also just leave this on default too. I just because it's just tough because like let's say you line your safeties up to the left, right, and then they run the ball to the right. Now you have a lot of people out of the play, so I just typically leave that on default. But safety depth, I like to go close. So we're gonna talk about the offensive coaching adjustments now. There's not really much to talk about. We're gonna run through this extremely fast because there's nothing new. It's pretty much all the same. Tempo is the same stuff you do before. No huddle, turbo, chew clock. I'm sure you guys all know that. You leave it on normal. You put it on chew clock when you need to run the clock down. Besides that, you don't really touch it. Deep pass catching, do not touch it. Intermediate pass to catching and blocking, none of that. Do not touch it. Just trust me. Now, this is interesting. I see ball carrier. In Madden 26, they said they're getting rid of conservative ball carriers. So I just assumed we weren't even going to get this in college football 26 because I haven't even used it. I haven't even looked at it. I just thought it wasn't in the game. But it turns out we still have conservative ball carrying. Madden 26, we're not going to have it though. So keep that in mind. But what this does is if you put it on conservative, you will not fumble. If you put it on aggressive, you'll break a lot more tackles, but you have a really high chance of fumbling. Only time I'd ever recommend putting that on is if it's 4th and 1 and you just gotta make sure you get this first down and you're gonna run the ball or something like that. That is it. As for conservative though, that's something you put on at the end of the game. When you're trying to put it away, you don't want to fumble, but for the most part, I just leave it on bounce. And there you go, man. I try to kind of run through that as quickly as possible, but also making sure I tell you guys all the information you need to know. Those, in my opinion, are the best coaching adjustments right now for college football 26. I'm going to try a lot more videos like this, talking about other settings, just a lot of different things in the game, so you guys can have an idea of how you want to play. I guess not how you want to play. I guess the best possible way to play. Look, man, I play a lot of head-to-head, so I typically have an idea of, what works and what doesn't. But if you guys did enjoy this video, man, drop a like. And if you're not subbed to the channel, man, what are you doing? Hit the sub button. But until next time, man, I'll see y'all boys in the next one.